Yo, it's your boy Check It with Rex, back with another episode, you feel me? I told y'all I was gonna come out with a bonus episode, and now I've delivered it to y'all playlist. Episode 6 is dropping on the 1st of May, and I may even drop it early. You see what I did there? Nah, okay. So I'm gonna need y'all to stay tuned. For this episode, I titled it Black Voices to Infinity, because as a black man, it's important to utilize my voice for my community. And I just really wanted to show appreciation to the new black media of today and the black media of the past, and all the contributions they made for me to be able to speak my voice freely. Because for so long, black voices have been compressed into a box. Today, I am able to speak to you on this podcast because of the contributions my people made before me. And you all, as the audience, are able to check it with your boy Rex because of that. Dang, it just got warm right here. Someone must have cranked up the heat. Oh yeah, I forgot I did. Cause we about to get into the burning question of the day. You feel? So the burning question of the day is, what are some ways we can allow our voices to be heard as a society? How can we use our voices to better our communities around us? Now, this is the time where I give you as the audience, the chance to reflect, because this is a podcast of peace, interaction, and collectiveness, where we reflect and we don't deflect, and we inflate and we don't deflate. So I'm gonna give you all that chance to reflect, and I'm gonna let that music play. So Dino family, let me know in the comments down below, what are some ways we can allow our voices to be heard as a society? So let me go ahead and hop into fun. Y'all know I like to put my 2 cents in the coin slot to bank a collective reflection where I relate my story to the context of the question. But this episode, we're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to relate a historical story to the context of the question. I call this Bank a Collective Reflection History Edition. I need y'all to gather around like a campfire. I'm going to give y'all some history. We're going to talk about some of those contributions that allowed me to be able to make this podcast and use my voice as a black man, because I am a descendant of the freedom. It was the year of 1890. The first black-owned newspaper was formed by a man named Alex Manly in Williamton, North Carolina. Alex was the voice and the hero for the black community in his city. The paper, the Daily Record, would focus on key themes like progressiveness, challenged racial stereotypes, and defended black men that were under false criminal accusations. The Daily Record was breaking down the faulty and cruel system of racism, and we are going to keep that on the record. But sadly, in 1898, a mob of racist terrorists burned down the Daily Record office. There's only a few issues from the newspaper, but it's a reminder for every black voice out there to keep speaking your truth and to continue to lift your voice and sing songs of freedom, justice, and peace. Because the fight is still ongoing. We are still fighting for reparations today and fighting for reformation and change. So I want to switch gears and I want to talk about the Tulsa Star, another black-owned newspaper. Now I know everyone has heard of Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was a thriving black community with over 600 black-owned businesses. This included banks, hotels, cafes, restaurants, and luxury shops. The publisher of the Tulsa Star, A.J. Smitherman, used his voice to support black-owned businesses, opposed lynchings, and allowed his voice to be a powerhouse of truth for the black community of Greenwood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The successor of the paper, now called Oklahoma Eagle, is currently running and is known as the longest-serving black-owned newspaper since 1922. We remember these stories because we have to remember the black voices that came before us. We have to remember that their voices were compressed, and even with that, they still spoke their truth. And we have to understand that the fight for racial equality is still ongoing today. Now that we have added historical context to the question, let's discuss some ways we as a society can utilize our voices to help and build the communities around us. One way we can do this is by voting for our local politicians. They are the ones that control our legislative laws that affect our personal communities within our cities. Contact your city governors, senators, and House of Representatives and list those changes that need to be made within your community. That is the best way for laws to get passed or laws to be changed. Go to your city government council meetings, list those demands, and create a community that supports those demands, which allows you all to speak and use your voices as a united front. Another way to use our voices to better our communities is connecting with local businesses and supporting one another. One of my favorite philosophers, Dr. Claude Anderson, focuses heavily on this concept, which is also known as group economics. History has shown us that thriving communities are formed by having a foundational support system built on trust, where I promote one another's businesses, only buy within your own communities. That is how we use our voices to better our communities. Now, before we move into my favorite segment of the podcast, Lucid Madness, I want to share with you all a poem I wrote called Black Voices to Infinity, which is also the title of this episode. And you know what? I think I'm going to add this as a side segment of the podcast called Infinite Words of Truth. Black voices spark a flame of justice and define the burning questions that deserve answers. Like, why did you try to turn down the volumes of our voices since 1526, but we've defiled their tricks and allowed our voices to echo even through the dark, and spoke so loud that it burst the eardrums of racism and shattered the wicked realm of supremacy that charged my people with felonies for even attempting to speak the word hello. Well, hello world, it's a new day where Black freedmen like Check It with Rex can speak their voice. Black excellence, that's my flex. And it's crazy to think that thinking out the box as a Black man was a felony, but we envision and create railroads to the heaven gates of freedom. Oh, they ain't catching me, because my voice will be used as weaponry to dismantle and diminish the dark and turn my pain into light. I repaint the media's image of blackness with the paintbrush built by my ancestors and use the strokes of courage, hope, resistance, and justice. What I see is a land that was built by a foundational group of people who created something out of nothing and flourished from the soils of oppression, even through the attempted compression of their voices. And while they can no longer speak, I will continue to use my powerful Black voice and be their succession, because I am a descendant of the freedmen. I am a freed man where I can use my brain to invent and utilize my skill set to a great extent, because I am a descendant of the freedmen. And I will use my Black voice to infinity and beyond this current life, even when my soul reaches the heaven gates, because I am a descendant of the freedmen. Now for my favorite segment of the podcast, Lucid Madness. So y'all know how this goes. I need y'all to close your eyes and embark on this journey with me of Lucid Madness. What if Jim Crow, slavery, or civil rights were eras of time that weren't a thing? What if they were never imagined? Would the concept of race have ever been created? Would race have had such a grasp on society's way of thinking as it does today? If race wasn't a thing, would we be able to treat everyone with dignity and respect and not judge someone based on the color of their skin, but their character and their human soul? These are the burning questions that badly need answers, because the world we're living in today is corrupt. We have a history of judging people, coming up with racial stereotypes, and brutalizing them just for the color of their skin. Where does it end? Oh yeah, it's time for my newest segment of the podcast, Cash in the Check. This is the segment where we take the coins of knowledge we gathered from the episode and we cash them in and we play a game, Cash in the Check. So, question number 1. If you had to choose, who would you rather have a sit-down conversation with at the table? A. Malcolm X. B. James Baldwin. C. Rosa Parks. Or D. Octavia E. Butler. Question number 2. What is the name of the longest-serving Black-owned newspaper? A. Daily Record. B. Tulsa Star. C. Boston Guardian. D. Black Times, Voices of the National Community. Or E. Oklahoma Eagle. And question number 3. Which Black superhero has the abilities of a spider? A. Miles Morales. B. Black Panther. C. Nubia, or D. Ironheart? And question number 4. What prominent writer wrote Go Tell It on the Mountain? A. James Baldwin, B. Nikki Giovanni, C. Maya Angelou, or D. Dr. Claude Anderson? Question number 5. Which philosopher focused heavily on the concept of group economics? A. W.E.B. Du Bois, B. Dr. Neely Fuller, C. Bell Hooks, D. Dr. Claude Anderson, or E. Howard McGarry? And question number 6. Who wrote the book Parable of the Sower? A. Maya Angelou, B. Nikki Giovanni, C. Octavia E. Butler, or D. Alice Walker? Question number 7. Now this one is a fun one. What black poet is from Knoxville, Tennessee, where I currently reside? A. Nikki Giovanni, B. Alice Walker, C. Dr. Neely Fuller, or D. Maya Angelou? So how y'all think y'all did? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll put the answers to the questions in the next episode. Let's pivot to the last segment of the podcast, Concrete Thinking. This is where we recap and discuss what we've learned from the episode. So I've given you all the materials to make concrete to be concrete in our thinking. I've given you the water, the sand, the gravel. And so now we're going to take these materials, mix them together, and now we've become concrete in our thinking from what we've learned throughout the episode. So check it. In this episode, we discussed the importance of black voices and that the fight against systematic racism still exists today. We also cover some ways to utilize our voices and to continue dismantling racial barriers to spark the flames of truth and justice for all. And before you go, check it with Rex in the comments, and there you will have found the answers to the trivia game in the last episode, and you will have officially checked it with Rex. So thank y'all again for listening to another episode of Check It with Rex. I got a lot more coming soon. I'm streaming on Amazon Audible, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and Spotify. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a review on the podcast for your boy. So thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned, stay inspired, stay motivated, and stay humble. I'll catch y'all next time.